Hello, welcome to Hardin Local Weekly. We're glad to have you here on September 30th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We're excited to have Fort Knox Spouses and Community Club with us today. And of course, we have the rest of the crew. Hey guys, good to see everybody this week. Scan this to get to the ticket if you're interested in being part of this fundraiser. We will be talking about it here short. Before we get started, though, wanted to go ahead and introduce everybody. Of course, we have Nate. Nate, tell us one thing that you did in the past week in Hardin County that you really enjoyed.
Went downtown and hung out at the Harvest Festival before all the fireworks broke out. So I was safe. I was never in any trouble, but met some people that follow us. They said they like the show. They like where we're going. They like getting updates from John. They like the business stuff. They like the interviews. So that was neat to just hobnob and network with people that love us and think and believe in what we're doing.
That's great. Before I get over here to John, I want you guys to scan our QR code or go to hardinlocal.com. You can find our weekly event count. Yeah, you can find our weekly event calendar up there, which is a PDF, and it has the links to the Facebook event or whatever. But you can find it there at hardinlocal.com. We'd also really appreciate it if you go ahead and take the time to go through our checklist, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us across social media, and hit the little bell in the top right-hand corner to subscribe with your email as well. And if you own a business, there's a business checklist there too. And lastly, if you're curious about our editorial policy, that you can find at the bottom of that webpage, hardinlocal.com. John, how are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. I got to do something this weekend that I've never done before, and it was a great experience. I've eaten a lot of corn dogs, but I got to make my own corn dog, and that was a lot of fun.
Never done that.
I saw that video. We're going to have it, not on stream, but it's going to come out short.
You're going to have to cook a corn dog live, John.
Hey, I can maybe do that. We can maybe figure it out.
Yeah, we could maybe. And Scott, give us one thing that you've done the past week in Hardin County that you've really enjoyed.
Let's see here. I don't get out too much. Just working from home. I would just say, man, it's a tough one. Just
it is. That's fine.
You know, we had the weekend up in Louisville for North Hardin and stuff.
I saw that. Why don't you talk a little bit? Talk for a second about that, because you were still there supporting North Hardin, right?
Right.
How'd that go?
North Hardin and a lot of different adjoining counties and their marching bands with high school. The kids really just phenomenal. That's an understatement. They did really good with everything. So yeah, it was a good time outside Hardin County. But other than that, you know.
Well, it's still kind of similar, because what did North Hardin win, or did they place? Or
well, we placed third overall.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. I noticed that you posted a picture on Hardin Local's main page. That picture got over 30,000 views, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
All while you're spending some time being dead. So we also have our special guests here from the Fort Knox Spouses and Community Club. I'm trying to keep it straight. And we have Tiffany and Christine. Is it Christina or Christine?
Christianne.
Christianne. Okay, I'm probably gonna mess that up again.
It's okay.
Sorry about that. Well, what?
My mom.
Yeah, what's something that you guys did? Same question to both of you. What's something you all have done in the past week in Hardin County that you really enjoyed?
Ice cream. That's my go-to. Dooster's, Dreamery, Dairy Queen. There's no wrong answer.
That's great. I know we're excited about Dooster's opening a new location on the south end, so that should be cool eventually. All right. Well, we'll get ahead. We're going to go ahead and move on over to our special guest segment, which give me a minute to get this set up quite right, so that I'm going to have to drop a few guys off screen so that this works right for our recording.
Bye-bye.
You'll still be able to talk, but you won't be able to, won't be able to hear you. Or we'll be able to hear you, but let's not see you. Yeah.
My wife does the same thing when she's mad at me. It's okay.
All right, girls, ladies. Let's get to know you for a few minutes briefly. So, Chris, do you have a nickname I can use?
Christianne.
Christianne. Chris. Okay, let's call you Chris. That'll be easier. Chris and Tiffany. Before we dive into the amazing work that FKSCC is doing, let's take a minute so our audience can get to know you both a little better. Can you start by telling us a little bit about yourselves and how you became involved with the Fort Knox Spouses and Community?
Who wants to go
Either
first?
one.
I'll go first. I'm Tiffany, and I was actually stationed in Fort Knox with my husband about 5 years ago, and I got roped into the club back then. I was in a much smaller role, but I really enjoyed my time. We've since moved, and then we just recently moved back to Fort Knox, and Chris over there wrote me back into this position. She said, "Do you want to join the board again?" And I said, "Sure." And she said, "What do you think about being president?" And I said, "Yeah, let's give it a go." So I took over presidency in June officially.
And she's rocking it.
I'm sure. It's always so much work to be in charge of an organization. Not like people don't realize how much work it is.
A lot of free labor going in so far.
What about you, Chris?
Well, we moved here in 2018, and my husband was active duty. And we chose this area because we thought we could maybe get 2 assignments to get our kids through high school without moving. And the Army was so kind, and they let us do that. So he had 2 assignments at Fort Knox, and he just retired this March. And we have chosen to make Hardin County home because we love this community so much. I joined Fort Knox Spouses and Community Club right away because I believed in the mission and made all my friends. That's where I've made friends. And then as I'm getting involved in the local community, meeting more.
Great. What drew, well, I guess the next question kind of answered, you both kind of already answered it. What drew you personally to this organization? So we'll just skip that one. I got a couple quick questions. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I'm a night owl.
I'm morning.
I'm a morning person too. If you could only keep one, would it be biscuits or cornbread?
Can I have cheesy garlic bread?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
I wouldn't pick either of those. I'd probably go with the Texas Roadhouse yeasty, buttery, cinnamon roll.
There we go. I definitely don't pick cornbread. My mom does not like, she's like, you don't like cornbread? I've told her 1,000 times. She still offers it. But she does make good cornbread if I actually liked it. Do you guys have a go-to spot in Hardin County when you want to unwind or go eat or enjoy yourself, relax a bit in public?
I like Freddy's right now. I've got 2 littles and they love a good frozen custard. So if we're doing dinner, it's nice, quick, easy, and it's always delicious. And then if I'm just out and about on the town by myself, I'm going to hit up Barnes and Nobles.
I like Freeman Lake. Great place to de-stress, and the trails are always well maintained and run into familiar people. And if we're out, we eat everywhere. Chalupas is our favorite Mexican restaurant. My son is actually not here. And when I went up to visit him, I brought him the largest salsa container I could bring him and carried it in a cooler. So Chalupas was like our every Friday night.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like chalupas. What was the last book, show, or podcast you enjoyed?
I have a goal to read 100 books this year. And one of the last books I read that I really loved was Remarkably Bright Creatures. And I believe it's actually going to become a movie soon. So I'm excited to see that if that comes to fruition.
That sounds interesting. What about you, Chris?
Our Fort Knox Spouses and Community Club has a book club. And our last one was the Berlin Letters. And that was a really good book. It wasn't a World War II themed book. So that was kind of refreshing. And our book club is ran by another member, but we are reading books and then we're dining wherever that book takes place in the world. So we are eventually going to read a book that takes place in Korea so we can go to K-pop.
Okay. K-pop, that's tomorrow, right? The grand opening. Great. Well, that's cool that you guys have a book club too. Sounds like there's quite a bit going on. So thanks for sharing that. It's always great for our audience to meet the people behind the roles. So now let's shift into the bigger picture, the organization you're here to represent, just the Fort Knox Spouses and Community Club, FKSCC. I will probably start referring it to that for the rest of this.
Perfect.
For those who may not be familiar with this organization, what is the Fort Knox Spouses and Community Club?
To sum it up, we're a nonprofit organization and our mission is to connect and to contribute. So we want to find all the people that are moving to our community, whether it be on post or just locally outside of post. And then we want to connect them with each other and with places, locations, and things to do around home.
So that's why it exists. I'm assuming, how does that look? What do you guys do for outreach? What's that look like in reality? Because that sounds difficult to me.
It can be, but to sum it up, we have a large community. I believe we have like 150 active members right now. You don't have to be directly military affiliated with the Army or anything. You can be a local community member, but we gather everyone together. We have lots of different events that we can talk about moving forward, but our ultimate goal is to raise funds for grants and scholarships to give out to both our military community and the surrounding local community.
Okay, great. And you kind of already answered it, but who can be a member and how can someone get involved?
Anyone could be a member. We have our website, which I believe you have posted. They can join there. Mm-hmm. You can come, you can attend our monthly mixers. We have so many sub clubs. So anything that you're interested in, we have a group specifically tailored for you. We meet at all different times of day. So if you've got little kids at home, we've got an event. If you work, we've got later night events. And then you just come to what you feel interested in and skip the rest and participate what benefits you the most.
So like
That's great.
book club, we have a group that goes and tastes bourbon. We have a wine club. We have a lunch bunch. We have moms with kiddos. We have a day tripper. So like day trippers tomorrow is going to Glendale, and they're going to go buy these big fancy mums and then eat at Whistle Stop and shop at the antique stores.
That sounds great and very interesting too. I know whenever my kid was little, and it was always difficult to find his mom. It was always hard to find things, groups of moms to be able to go do things with. She was pretty good at figuring it out. But I had no guys. I had no idea that you guys did all that. So you already said you have about 150 members. What type of activity? Well, you already even answered my next question for me. That's great. On the contribution side, can you share kind of about the scholarships and the grant programs that you all are working with?
So just the last few years alone, we've been able to give nearly $100,000. That looks like 50 grants and 45 scholarships. Those grants and scholarships goes to military spouses who are trying to continue their education. It looks like high school students going into college, as well as college kids recurring. So if you're a freshman, you can still apply for another scholarship to help with sophomore and so on. And then our grants go out to local communities, whether that be in Hardin County or on post. We've got lots of different organizations that have come back to us and been repeat grant recipients. And then we'd always love to have new potential recipients apply as well.
Okay. Could you give us a couple examples, or at least one of the local organizations that you guys have supported?
Yeah. So traditionally, we have repetitively supported the Hardin County Library, Friends of the Hardin County Library, Camp Tessa, CASA, which is another local organization. A lot of times we do a lot of like project graduation grants to help with that, as well as like sports teams and clubs.
That's great. What I saw a post and I shared it the other day. Was it called flocking or what?
Yeah.
Can you guys talk about that for a second?
Absolutely.
It seemed pretty cool.
Yeah. So one of our really fun, kind of lighthearted fundraisers that we do is for $20. You can have your yard flocked if you live locally. And if you don't live
on
locally,
post.
On post. And if you don't live on post, you can give us $20 and we'll flock anyone. But we have a mother flocker, and her name is Megan, and she is wonderful. And she goes out very sneaky like, and she puts a bunch of different plastic flamingos all over your yard, and she gives you a little goodie bag on your door. And we've got lots of signs so we can flock for like a new baby, for graduation, if you're moving in and you have new neighbors, or if your neighbors are leaving us, a farewell, really any reason, just for the fun of it. We can flock your yard, and that's a fun little fundraiser that we're able to do all year long and build up our funds for grants and scholarships.
That's great. And for all the viewers out there, you can go to hardinlocal.com. It's our Linktree page, and I've linked their website, their Facebook page, and the ticket page too. The ticket page is actually at the top of the links. And I'll add that flocking link because I saw that on y'all's website as well.
If you know anyone that works, we can also flock the front of like a workplace. So if you know someone that works on post and want to flock them, we can do that too.
And if it's like you said if it's not on base, then it's basically just on Fort Knox where that happens.
Correct.
Is that correct?
That's all we have. That's all we have the capability of flocking currently.
Makes sense for $20,
They don't fly very far.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's incredible impact that you guys are making. And of course, that kind of support requires strong fundraising, which brings us to your biggest event of the year, the Boots, Bling, and Bourbon fundraiser. Can you walk us through what this event is all about?
I got to get in get ready.
Got your wardrobe.
Yes. So it's Boots, Bourbon, we can't see it, Bourbon and Bling. And that truly is our largest fundraiser of the year. And we're very, very excited. And we are successful because we have so much support from our community, to include distilleries. We get lots of donations, and we're still looking for donations of bourbon to pull this night off. So tell me again what your question is, because I was so excited.
Notice the excitement. Can you walk us through what this event is all about and what makes it special?
It is special. One, it's our biggest and probably, I think, our funnest. So it is a bourbon pull. The evening includes a dinner this year. Normally, we've always done just heavy appetizers. But tonight, you're going to get fried chicken, barbecue ribs, appetizers, yummy sides, and dessert. And we have 3 distilleries coming for free tastings of bourbon.
Plus a cash
We will
bar.
also have, yes, a cash bar. So you can drink all the bourbon you can handle as long as you have a designated driver. So it is hosted on Fort Knox, so you must have access to post to be able to attend. But when you get there, we will have a silent auction, as well as one game is a live auction, which is for our larger, higher valued prizes of bourbon. And then we will have some play to pay games. We also have a jail. So I have it on good word that Chief Judge Executive will be there. And if you'd like to put him in jail for a few minutes, you could. But he also has the option of buying a get out of jail sticker so he can avoid being arrested. But people can pay a warrant for his arrest if they would so like.
Oh, really? I may be interested in that.
Yes, I think so.
Especially if you're talking about the Hardin County Judge Executive.
Yes, he has already purchased his tickets and the misses, and they will be in attendance.
Good to know.
You can send in a donation with a note, and we'll make sure he goes straight to jail.
Okay. I will do that. So,
Yours truly.
exactly. So you kind of already explained from the food to the games and the bourbon pool. Can you talk a little bit more about the bourbon pool specifically?
Yes. So this started 6 years ago, and we started on a much smaller level with maybe only 50 people. And it started in a patio of a golf course. And one of our previous presidents, it was his idea. It was Steve Schmidt. And he had this brilliant idea of let's embrace the Kentucky culture with bourbon. And found that at that time, it was really mostly our military members and families that attended. And we've since then really expanded. We've gone from the golf course patio to the Patton Museum to now we're at Saber and Quill, where we can host a lot more people, which is why we can really open it to anybody in the public. You don't have to be a member to attend. So for a bourbon pull, the way we're doing it this year, kind of on the Western theme, is you come up to us when we open at 6 p.m. and one of our lovely hostesses will hand you a random playing card. And on that playing card, it could be a Queen of Spades on a black, because we'll have multiple decks, because only a deck has 52 cards. So we have different colored decks. And then we will have all the bourbon laid out, and you won't know which bottle is yours. So then at the end of the evening, we'll pull out the card that you have, and you will find out what random bottle you have. So most of our bottles are valued around average of $50, but we have some bottles that you could pull that are worth $100. So it is well worth your price to get a nice bottle of bourbon and dinner, and then the option to participate in our games.
Great. Can people support this event without attending? If so, how?
Absolutely. We'll take all the money you'd like to give us to scholarships and grants. If you go to our website, www.fortknoxscc.com, in the right-hand corner, we have a donate button. But if you just have way too much bourbon that you can't drink and you'd like to share it with us, we still need more donations. And Johnny O's has been super, super kind and always supportive the last several years, as well as the Hardin County Bourbon Club in supporting our mission. But you could go to Johnny O's and say, this is for the Fort Knox Spouses Club, and they will hold a bourbon donation for it.
Okay. And are you still open for community sponsors? I know like First Command and Swope, they're helping make this possible. I think I saw a place on your website where you could still do a sponsorship for like $250 or $500. All right.
Yes.
I'll make sure to
take
put
any
that
monetary donation, but on the website, it does break down because if you do sponsor us at different levels, it does come with different perks. So if you are interested in that, we want to make sure that you get all the perks that come along with that.
Okay.
But definitely shout out to First Command. Every person will go home with a bourbon glass, compliments of First Command.
Yes.
That's great.
And thank you to Swope as well.
Absolutely.
We couldn't do it without them.
Oh, all right, Chris and Tiffany, thank you for giving us a closer look at both you and the Fort Knox Spouses Community Club. We're excited to see the impact of this year's Boots, Bling, and Bourbon fundraiser we'll have on the community. Let's check the comments before we let you guys go, and let me bring the rest of the guys back.
Outdo me with your bling when you show up. I'll be there.
Bringing everybody back on. Let's check the comments. All right, we got one here from Janet. Edlin. The Navy Wives Club at Mare Island Naval Base near Napa Valley was my community when my daughter was born, but all our family is back here in Hardin Town.
Well, come join us, Janet. We'd love to have you.
And it looks like Scott posted this to Hardin Local. That is their website, just so you know.
Hey,
And
can
we
I
have-
shout out some of our special prizes that you could win through either the auction or pool to bring in a little bit more? As it stands now, we currently have about 6 bottles of Blanton's Gold Top. We have a Michter's limited release barrel strength Kentucky straight bourbon, and that bottle alone is valued at about $389. And then we have quite a few more Blantons. We have a Wenzel's, we have a Wadey and Boot and Sons vintage barrel selection ancient reserve, and that's a 13-year bottle. And then we've also really been fortunate to work the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, where we got quite a few bottles of bourbon donated that have the signatures from the master distillers. So not only can you grab a bottle of bourbon, but these are going to be bottles of bourbon that you can't purchase from a store. You can have signatures. We got special bottled from different casks that aren't, you can't just purchase anywhere. They were specific to that event.
And we have 2 barrels.
Yeah, we have 2 full barrels. We've got some bourbon barrel furnitures that's being built and donated. We've got a couple lamps, some candles. We've got lots of great stuff. We have and we also have some stuff that's not specifically bourbon related. So if you're like, this sounds like a fun night, but I'm not necessarily super into bourbon, please come join us, because we've got lots of other great things that you can enjoy as well.
That's great. We did have one other I wanted to at least shout out. Megan Roach, she posted a few times. I can't wait. And I know where I'll be most of that night.
That's our mother flocker.
We'll continue to promote your QR code here the rest of the show. And like I say, you can go to hardinlocal.com and find the rest of those links that are related to their Facebook page and their website. So you don't even have to remember it. Just go to hardinlocal.com.
Thank you so much. We appreciate community support.
Absolutely.
We couldn't do what we do without you. And it is an honor to give back to our community.
Well, we appreciate you all joining.
Absolutely.
If you guys ever have any needs or need to promote anything again, you know how to reach me.
We will, for sure.
Have a great day.
Thank you.